Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to dive into something kind of controversial.
Yeah.
We're talking about the idea that immigrants, they come here and steal jobs, specifically black jobs and Hispanic jobs. We hear that a lot.
Right.
So we're going to break it down, look at the facts, not just the talk. We're mainly looking at this article about, it's about Trump's stance on immigration and how it supposedly affects, the job market. Should be
Mm,
interesting.
definitely.
So the main argument, what we hear a lot, especially from Trump, is that immigrants are taking jobs, black jobs, Hispanic jobs, like this big threat, right?
Yeah.
In one of his rallies in Pennsylvania, he said, and this is a quote, they're going to be attacking, and they already are, black population jobs, the Hispanic population jobs, and they're attacking union jobs too.
Mhm.
So when you see the border, it's not just the crime. Your jobs are being taken away too.
Mm-mm.
It's not a new claim, though, is it?
Mm.
This whole thing about immigrants stealing jobs has been around forever.
No, not at all. It's a very old tactic, really. I mean, throughout history, you see this kind of rhetoric being used to basically prey on people's fears about jobs. Like, they need someone to blame, and immigrants are an easy target.
Yeah, makes sense. And obviously, Trump saying this caused a huge uproar. Democrats, black leaders, they all condemned it, saying it was racist, divisive, the drill. But there were other opinions too, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like Janiyah Thomas. She's the director of Team Trump Black Media.
Hmm.
And she actually said that Democrats care more about undocumented immigrants than, black Americans who were born here. So lots of different sides here. Everyone's got an opinion. But let's look at the actual job numbers, what's really going on. Okay, so let's look at the numbers. We're talking the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. They track all that employment stuff. And it's pretty interesting what they found. So in 2023, most native-born black workers were in management, finance, sales, office jobs, that kind of thing. And it's similar for native-born Hispanic workers, like management was big, also office work, sales, and service jobs.
Makes sense.
Right. Now, where did the immigrants fit in? The data shows foreign-born black workers were mostly in transportation and healthcare support. But foreign-born Hispanic workers, they were more into construction and cleaning jobs. Interesting, right?
It is, because it shows it's not so simple. It's not like immigrants just come in and take all the black jobs or whatever. The data shows it's way more complicated than that. There's all sorts of jobs going on.
Totally. And here's another thing that might surprise you. In 2023, most of the U.S. population growth, that was because of international migrants,
Yeah.
mostly from Latin America. So they were actually helping keep the population up, not like taking over or anything.
Right.
But what about the economics of it all?
Right.
Like, is it true that immigrants are stealing jobs from people born here? Or is that, not really how it works?
Well, the whole stealing jobs idea, it comes from this idea that there's only so many jobs to go around, right? Like a pie, you take a slice, there's less for me. But that's not how the economy works. With immigration, the pie can actually get bigger. Everyone gets more.
Okay, I see.
Economists who study this stuff, they've found that immigrants often take jobs that, honestly, a lot of people born here don't want. There's tough jobs, like think agriculture, food processing, things like that.
Yeah, like we saw in that data, it's not about taking a slice. It's like bringing more to the table.
Exactly. Now, there are other opinions out there, like the Center for Immigration Studies. They want less immigration. They say immigrants are taking over the workforce, getting all the benefits. But their data, it lumps together legal and undocumented immigrants. So it's hard to know what's really going on. Like comparing apples and oranges,
Mm.
Got to separate them out.
Right. It's more complicated than just counting how many immigrants are working. We need to look closer at the details.
That's it. And here's something else. Immigrants actually help the economy grow. They work, they spend money, and that creates more jobs for everyone.
It's like instead of just rearranging the players on the field, you make the field bigger, add more players, everyone wins.
Perfect way to put it. And there's research to back this up. Giovanni Perry, an economist at UC Davis, he looked at what happened in Miami back in 1980. Remember the Mariel boat lift? Tons of Cubans came to Miami. And you know what? Wages for Black and Hispanic workers actually went up after that.
Wow, that's amazing. It really goes against what people usually say. So it seems like immigration and jobs, it's not so black and white, right? So we've looked at the numbers, talked to the experts, even looked back in time a bit. What does it all mean for us, in our everyday lives?
Right.
It's easy to get caught up in the emotions of it all, especially with something as big as immigration.
Right.
But like we saw today, it's not always as simple as it seems, right?
Absolutely. This whole deep dive, it shows how important it is to think for yourself. Don't just believe everything you hear about immigration and jobs. Dig a little deeper, ask yourself, where's the proof? Who's saying this and why? What about the other side of the story?
Exactly. So let's sum up what we've learned today.
Okay, so first, that idea of immigrants stealing jobs, especially from certain groups. When you look at the actual data, it kind of falls apart. It's just not that simple.
Right. And second, the numbers tell a much bigger story than what you usually hear from politicians. Immigrants actually do a lot of important work, and that helps the economy grow, even creates new jobs for everyone.
Yeah, and the last thing, if we really want to make good decisions about immigration, we got to understand the economics of it, not just the sound bites and the scary stories.
For sure. So here's something to think about. How does all this change your view on immigration? And what else should we be thinking about besides just jobs? It's a big issue with lots of angles. Keep asking those questions. And until next time, happy diving.